That's what I'm talking about, talking about, talking about.
Hey, you're watching Talking About. I'm John Griffith.
I'm Cara, Kilduff.
And we are joined by Tom Ragu.
We're back with Tom.
Hello.
All right, so wait. I was just made a grimace because we were deciding what we were going to talk about.
We're doing freestyle talk, so.
Yeah, you know, we're going to freestyle. What is that?
Well, actually, you're familiar with the Kinsey scale.
Yes.
Okay, for those who aren't,
I mean, yes.
there's a little graphic.
What is that?
The rainbow one, if we can pop that up. For people who don't know, yeah, Kinsey 1 through Kinsey 6. 1 being totally straight, 6 being totally gay.
Right.
And the shades in between. Some people are trying to come out with, once you have a second to look at that, I think it's called the red-purple scale. And it's just like all these different complicated degrees. The next graphic is what we actually have in our hands. So let's look at the other graphic, and you can see the difference between the two. And it's like all these different degrees of orientation and attraction types, and it's just confusing. You know, I don't get the need for overcomplicating things.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's just like, okay, attraction types, orientations, and all this that way. all this different stuff that you can see there, and it's just overcomplicating it, and it's just like bizarro. Why do we have the need to overcomplicate ourselves so much?
I don't know. Human being. I mean, this is so funny. This is so indicative. We like to put things in little boxes.
Maybe that's it. I mean, it's like I think they're calling it like the red-purple scale or whatever, and it's just bizarro. It's like, I felt the same way when I first started seeing all these COPD commercials, and why can't we just call it emphysema?
Thank you.
Emphysema was good enough for the last 100 years. Why isn't emphysema?
When we were growing up, emphysema was a fine thing to say. Why is it COPD? We liked it that way. Emphysema. Sorry. Tom, do you suffer from COPD?
No. But I do suffer from restless leg syndrome.
RLS.
Oh, yeah.
There's a medication for that.
Right.
All right, so wait, yours, I don't...
Yeah, okay.
I think that just millennials just have a need to just change things and make things more complicated. Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
Okay. So does that bring us to the election?
Oh, if you want to talk about the election?
Millennials trying to complicate things. I don't know who each of us, well, I know who I stand behind. I don't know who each of you stands behind in this. And if you're comfortable sharing it, then...
Clearly Donald Trump.
I had you pegged for that, yes. I've started unfollowing my...
A lot of people are doing that on Facebook.
Not unfriending them, just unfollowing them so I can't see
their stuff.
Tantrums going.
Yeah. You know, there's an app that's out there on Facebook that automatically defriends anybody who is friends or likes Donald Trump's page. So any one of your Facebook friends that likes Donald Trump's page, this app will automatically unfriend that person for you. Which, by the way, I think is a great idea.
It's an idea, but if I unfriended everybody who did something stupid, I wouldn't have any friends.
Right. I think that they should come up with an app where they automatically unfriend anybody who likes Gloria Gaynor. Because as a Donna Summer fan, we instantly just, instinctively don't like Gloria Gaynor. Do you know that Gloria Gaynor has been signing autograph pictures as Love, the Queen of Disco, Gloria Gaynor? And I'm like, listen, Gloria Gaynor, I mean, I know that you had a real good song in 1978 and everything, and that was nice. But you're not the Queen of Disco.
No.
Donna Summer is the undisputed Queen of Disco. And just because somebody sadly dies doesn't mean that they lose their title. Michael Jackson will always be the king of pop. Elvis will always be the king of rock and roll. And just because they die doesn't mean that somebody gets to swoop in.
There's no inheritance.
Right.
You can't swoop in Gloria Gaynor.
That's right, Gloria Gaynor. I tweeted her, you know.
You did?
I did.
Of course you did. What did you say?
Try and act surprised. I said, You are not the queen of disco. Donna Summer's the queen of disco. Get it? Don't get it twisted. That's what I said.
That was very strong.
Hashtag, you know, whatever.
Very strongly worded.
Okay, but if somebody came up to her and referred to her as that, is it okay for her to accept it? Just like on a one-to-one, like.
What, refer to her as the queen of disco,
Yes.
like you're the queen of disco?
Yes.
No.
No. It's just like if someone were to go up to Madonna and say, you know, like there are people who have titles, you know. Aretha Franklin is the queen of soul, and she will always be the queen of soul till the end of time. One day she will die, right? Beyonce is not going to suddenly swoop in there and assume that title as much as we like Bey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we don't, you know, she's not going to sweep in there.
Right. But is it okay to refer to her as Queen Bee?
That could be her title. She's Queen Bee.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like I know a performer who bears a slight resemblance to Mario Cantone,
Right.
and he actually slept with a couple on that mistaken identity.
Oh, really? Oh.
And it's like he hightailed it out of there in the morning, letting them think that they had a three-way with Mario Cantone.
Mario Cantone. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That is funny. Was his name? Was he a comedian? Was his name Ant from
Oh,
L.A.?
never saw.
Remember Ant? Oh, Lord. Ant and his.
I like Ant. Ant's been a guest.
Ant is a lovely guy. He is. I like him very much.
So that's all. Ant is a good guest. We text.
Great guy. Tell him I said hi.
I will. Okay.
Awkward.
Yes, feeling the
So
tension?
who else? Who haven't I offended today? So I've offended. I've offended my old sound engineer. I've offended Asians. I've offended Ant. I've offended who?
Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber. You know, Justin.
And his dreads.
What? He has dreads? I don't follow.
Yeah, he went to the iHeart Movie Awards over the weekend, and he was sporting dreadlocks. Now this is something that we've talked about on our show. We've talked about cultural appropriation.
Yes.
So is it ever appropriate for someone not of a particular culture to appropriate the cultural principles or practices of another culture?
Well, first of all, that boy does not, those are not no natural dreads. That's a weave. I mean, not a weave, but
It's forced. It's
no,
forced.
yeah, that's not real
Extensions.
dreads. Besides,
Yeah.
I have a problem with white people with dreads. Somebody unfriended me on Facebook because a white person with dreads because I was like, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, we got into a battle. You know, they were all like, blah, blah. And finally I was like, it's my page. I can say whatever I want. Ugh. And then all of a sudden they weren't my friends anymore. And I was like,
Oh well.
you too sensitive.
Well, there was a video floating around of a woman confronting a woman of color confronting a white guy, like totally in your face, total stranger,
Right.
about cultural appropriation, and
Right.
it was making the rounds over the
Right.
last couple of weeks,
Right.
and I think that's a little bit extreme.
Yeah, we talked about that on the show too. So that happened at San Francisco State University, and there was and this kid was like a surfer dude. I really don't think that he was, part of like the whole Rastafarian religion. And I just think that he was like a stinky,
there are
surfer dude who
there
didn't
are
wash.
Other cultures that, through history, have worn hair similar to dreads.
Right.
So it's not necessarily cultural appropriation if maybe he's of Scottish descent, and if you go back far enough, Scotsmen wore something like dreads.
Yeah, but guys, Bieber with dreads, no.
Right.
I pray for him.
Just let him just post another little butt pic and let that be
I
that.
do. I pray for him. You know, he's not a bad person. He's gonna be all right.
Okay, Kathy Lee. You ever watch Kathy Lee and Kathy Lee? Hoda will be like, she loves the gossip, and she loves the celebrity gossip, and she loves talking about the downfall of Justin Bieber, and and Bieber's family are a bunch of Christians from the Midwest
Canada,
or Canada,
Midwest
Same
Canada.
difference.
somewhere in North America, and Kathy Lee is friends with Justin Bieber's mother, and so she's always like, oh well, I pray for him, and I know his mother, and his mother's a good Christian woman, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, really? Just please be quiet. There's some times where, even though I love Kathy Lee, I really think that she should just, you know.
Stop talking.
Yeah, put a sock in it.
Or a cork.
I think somebody in the control room just farted.
I heard somebody say, it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
No, sir.
That's okay.
Wait, what? Now, okay, speaking of dreadlock, cultural appropriation, what was the thing you were telling us before about Hamilton?
So I would say probably a week ago, the producers of Hamilton put a casting notice on their website because Hamilton is getting ready to go on the road. And they had posted, and in the casting notice, it had said, we are looking for non-white performers, actors, singers, and dancers. Whites need not apply. And some saw that as not only being racist, but also illegal under New York State's human rights laws. And so I'm of two schools of thought here. I do think that it is illegal under the New York State human rights law. But on the other side of that very same coin, this is a show where 99% of the actors, singers, dancers are African American, and so they are just looking for what they're looking for, and they're looking actually to save everyone's time.
Right. However, if it was worded the way that you just quoted,
right,
whoever wrote the copy,
right,
really screwed up.
Right. They could have worded it differently.
I think the fault is in the wording.
Yeah, because this is an African. It's like the color purple. If you're looking for cast members of the color purple, it's primarily an African American cast, and Hamilton is primarily an African American cast. And when you're taking these shows on the road, it's primarily an African American cast, with the exception of King George, of course. But I mean, so you're just really saving everyone's time.
It's kind of inflammatory, though.
It could have been worded differently, but you're saving everybody's time, because why would you reach out to casting agents, managers, and
yeah, but the thing is, if people are familiar with the show, like somebody's agent is not some white boy, white is not, his agent is not going to say, hey, I think you'd be great for this show. That's not going to happen. Like any agent or manager is going to be like, no, that's not for you.
Yeah, but but if it was posted worded the way you said, instead of a casting breakdown, the ethnicity of the character that they're looking for would be much more fitting, instead of saying whites need not apply.
Right. So that's how it was. That's how it went out, and there was a very big backlash in the New York Post and the Daily News and all the local New York City press. And they had to sort of backpedal and all that. But it really did raise the point of, is it racist or just affirmation?
Yeah.
And so this was just a question. This was just something that we talked about on the show.
That is interesting. Yeah. I do want to see that show. It's supposed to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's a fantastic show.
You saw it?
I did not.
I just finally got around to seeing Fun Home last week.
Did anybody?
I saw it on Easter. I mean,
was it good?
It was really good. You'd like it. It was very lesbianic.
I take offense to that statement. Why would I like it? Only because I'm a lady who loves ladies. I'm kidding. Did anyone see Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime yet?
No.
Fantastic. Go see it. It's amazing. Amazing. Like, wow.
We'd definitely have to see that.
Mm-hmm. It's super.
Turning around to the discrimination again, it's like I was thinking the other day, just something happened that made me a little bit more aware of myself. A former guest from several years back emailed me and asked me to pull down one of the shows from YouTube. He was presenting himself as an out gay person at the time, and now, 5-10 years later, he is married to a woman with children, and his feeling was, that's not my truth anymore, is the way he worded it to me. and it just kind of raised the hair on the back of my neck. And after I realized that I was getting rankled up about it, I tried to self-examine as to why. Is it because he asked me to pull it down, or is it internalized biphobia? And it made me kind of self-examine that. And have you ever had an incident where you kind of became a little bit more self-aware about something within yourself like that?
Well, I mean, I
Too
have.
deep.
No, it's a good question.
The only thing that's come up like that is people who I know some people who have transitioned from female to male, and they just have requested that I use the proper pronoun and things like that. And sometimes it's hard because I know them as a particular, you know, I originally met them as a particular person, and I know them as that particular name and that particular personality. And then after a number of years, I become reacquainted with them, and they are a completely different personality, and they are presenting themselves to the world in a completely different way. But as far as, you know, what you're talking about, that's never really come up.
That is interesting, though. I mean,
just a little introspection on what's making me tick, and wondering if other people tick the same way.
I probably, you know, I don't know. If I had gotten an email like that, I would just kind of be like, oh, that's curious. Okay.
So, well, big picture is I didn't delete the show, but I made it invisible. So, you know, for the next couple of years, I'll just keep it invisible, and maybe I'll make it public again down the road.
When he comes out and cheats on his family?
I wouldn't wish that. I wouldn't wish that on him or his family. I would not wish that on him or his family.
Tom would.
I want
Just
him.
saying.
I want him to be happy. I want him to be.
Oh, I want him to be happy too, but I'm just saying that, you know.
But back to transitioning.
No, I want to continue talking about him cheating. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, that I know of, we've had.
Don't go changing subjects around here. I want to continue talking about the negative.
To my knowledge, we've had 2 former guests who have transitioned since being on the show, or at least to a degree. One, just, okay, flip of the switch. Oh, really? Okay. And you know who we're talking about. And there's another one who I just kind of discovered by accident. I saw a name change on Facebook, somebody who had been on about 2 years ago, and then the fan page is still in a female name, but the personal page is in a gender-neutral name now. And I held my curiosities back, not about the actual transition, but about where the name came from. Was your soul screaming out, "This is my true name"? Is this the name that Mom would have given me if the gender was flipped? I was curious about that, and I don't know the person well enough to have the right to ask that question. So I kind of held it back, but it still bounces around in my head. A lot of people obsess over the parts when people transition. I obsess over the name choice. I don't know why. The parts don't matter. It's like, where did the name come from? That's what I want to know.
Why Chad? Just wondering. Why Chad? Why Grant? Why'd you choose Grant? Grant.
Well, when you put it that way, I mean, that's kind of hilarious. Why James?
Why James? James.
So James, why James?
Well, you got to do it like Barbara. So James. Barbara, why are you talking on one side of your face? Oh.
Bill's palsy. Terrible, 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 terrible. Hey, show us the trick that your watch can do. No, I'm kidding.
Look, everybody. Okay.
Oh, good Lord.
Life is funny. Human beings are weird.
So you have some dates coming up.
Oh, yeah, guys. If you're around, I have I'm doing a show with Vicky Ferrentinos is putting together the show. It's comedy and cake. And anybody who knows Vicky knows that she is an amazing chef, and there will actually be cake.
Yes.
I am psyched about the cake. It's April 16th at Don't Tell Mama at 7 p.m. I think tickets are $10. It's a 2-drink minimum, cash only. But it's a great lineup. It's Vicky, it's me, it's Danny Cohen, who is so funny, and Michelle Buteau, and there's one other I think that I'm...
And the other one.
No, that I can't remember right. I'm having a brain fart. But the show's going to be a lot of fun, and if you guys come, that would be really cool. That's all.
And you have a big show coming up soon also.
Yes, so our show on B-Box Radio, TGIF for Tom and Laura, is having our one big one-year anniversary show this coming Friday.
You should have cake.
We should have cake. I think this is probably going to be a whole lot of stuff. But there are lots of people coming on through the studio, lots of surprise guests. But we have Adrian Davidson, DJ Adam Industry, Thomas Beleza, Aaron K. Smith, and of course Liz Glazer, and our sound specialist DJ Chauncey D, who is a regular part of the show, and that is this Friday, April 8th, from 12 noon to 2:30. We're going to have an extended show this week, and it's going to be lots of fun, lots of clips of old shows.
Okay.
We're going to go and sort of go back, and we're going to listen to the first show.
Oh boy.
And see what it was like, because I know that it was not that good that first time. There was a lot of I had the case of the ums, the uhs, and the you knows back in the day.
I get the so's.
The so's.
I get the so's.
Yeah, when you listen to some old tapes or watch old video of your stand-up when you first started, are you able? Did you have that issue of the ums and the uhs and the you knows?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. You know what I hate is when people get into the rut.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I want to stab myself with a spork.
You know what? You know what Mama Ragu does?
What?
She plays this game when she watches the Ellen DeGeneres show. Because I don't know if you've watched Ellen DeGeneres. She says she says amazing more than any person on the earth. And so Mama Ragu does an amazing count. She actually gets a pad and paper and she does an amazing tally. And she's like 27 times today, amazing.
Oh, you should do a
I was like,
YouTube
really?
countdown
I was
of the
like,
show and
really?
just-
You're actually counting amazings?
I love your mother.
That's amazing.
27 times with the amazing. How many times can a person say amazing, 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 slash, amazing, 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 slash? I'm like, really? This is how you occupy your time? Why don't you watch Dr. Phil?
She'd rather do that.
so that's
And
what she does.
you might wonder where you get it from. I mean,
Where do I get it from? That woman's crazy.
sitting right there.
She's crazy. I don't know where I get it from. But anyway, that's this coming Friday from 12 noon to 2:30 p.m. Eastern on bboxradio.com.
Okay.
And
After that date, archived forevermore?
yeah,
Downloadable
archived on, and you can find all that information on the show's website, which is tomragu.com/TGIF. That's tomragu.com/TGIF. That's my radio voice. Good afternoon and welcome. Everybody makes fun of my radio voice. This is my radio voice. I go down an octave. I usually just squeeze my test. See, Laura, that's Laura's job in the studio. She, right before we go on, she gives me a good squeeze, and I go, "Good afternoon, hey."
Let go.
And then my voice is good for a couple of hours.
Very nice. So we have about a minute left, and I do really want to thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing Liz with us as well.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, that was funny. That was just funny.
Thank you.
You guys are funny together.
Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Liz has been on before, and she's a great guest, and she's gonna co-host with me this week because Laura is not well this week, but she'll be fine. She's been sick. So we wish Laura well. I want to say hi
Yes,
to I want to
speedy
say hi to Laura.
recovery.
Hi,
In
Laura.
recovery, there's always a seat open for you.
And we miss you on the show. So we're thinking of you.
Okay,
Liz Glazer is going to be sitting in, and she's going to be fantastic.
I believe it. And thank you again. Thank you. So
Thank you.
And check you out where again?
April 16th at Don't Tell Mama. 7 o'clock, $10, 2-drink minimum, cash only.
Be there, and you can check us out more on www.talkingabout.info. Lots of archive shows there. Once this show is up there, there'll be links to everybody you've seen. And thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Have a great month.
Yes.
Get your taxes done.